Hi everyone, how's everybody doing? Thank you everyone for being here. My name is César. I am a mobile engineer with Automattic, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I do on a daily basis, how I joined Automattic, why I joined Automattic, and I'll tell you a little bit as well about our hiring process and the things that I like about working at the company and the things that probably don't love that much. This is going to take about 25 minutes, more or less, and then we'll do questions. I don't have much visibility on the Q&A chat, so I'll probably leave the questions for the very end, if you don't mind. Let's start with a little bit about me. I'm originally from Spain. That explains the accent, and that's going to explain most of the crimes that I'm about to commit against the English grammar, so my apologies for that. I'm 49 years old. That's not really relevant for this presentation, but still, I thought I should say it. I live in Ottawa, the capital city of Canada. It's beautiful in here now that flowers are blooming and grass is green, but 3 months ago when we were up to here in the snow, it wasn't that beautiful. I live with my partner. This is going to be relevant for the rest of the presentation later during this chat, and we do not have children, which is also going to be relevant. I joined Automattic about 3 years ago. 3 years, 3 months, 3 months and 1 day to be specific. Not that I'm counting. That time when I joined the company, I was living in Hong Kong. As I said, I'm a mobile engineer, and I lead also one of the teams that are working on WooCommerce mobile and in the WooCommerce mobile apps. In particular, my team is working on adding the functionality to take card present payments with WooCommerce mobile apps. But during these 3 years, I had the opportunity of contributing code to WordPress mobile, CrowdSignal, and Tumblr as well. And one of the things that I do also in my work time is participate in our hiring efforts. So that's why I'm a little bit familiar with that side of the process as well. That was me, the company. Yeah, what it says here. We're trying to make the web a better place. Our goal is to democratize publishing and democratize e-commerce in one sentence. Democratize publishing means giving everyone the opportunity to publish their own content online and while owning that content. We are around 1,400 folks distributed across the world, 79 countries, and speaking 99 languages. That's a nice number. But in general, yeah, I would say that what we do is try to make the web a better place. Less walled gardens on the internet in a way. These are some of the things that we work on, from WordPress.com, WooCommerce. I'm very invested in that. Tumblr, Simple Note, several multiple products. So there's always something interesting to do. And we also contribute to WordPress, obviously, which, as you all might know, runs around 40% of the internet. As I said, I'm a mobile engineer, so I work within the context of the apps division. We own and maintain 4 main products: the WordPress mobile apps, the WordPress desktop app, WooCommerce mobile, and Simple Note. Within the apps division in particular, we are around 74, a little bit more than 74 people. This is slightly outdated. And we are distributed across 24 countries. Here in the map, you can see the dot where every one of us lives. Used to be a dot in Asia next to Taiwan. Now I'm one of the dots in Canada. Diversity is not only about gender, and gender is not binary, but that is one of the metrics that we use as well. The number of women that are new hires, 58% of the new hires speak English as a second language within the apps division, And there's a little bit of everything. There's people speaking English, Spanish, Czech, Turkish, Portuguese, French, Mandarin, Filipino. There's a little bit of everything. And that's great. To be honest, being part of a team like this, so distributed and with such different origins, it's great. It's been a great experience so far. That was a little bit of context to help you understand where I'm coming from. Now, my personal story, how I joined Automattic. As I said, this happened like a little bit longer than 3 years ago. When I actually joined Automattic, it was the 4th time that I had applied. I never made it even through the first phase of the process. We'll get into the actual process a little bit later. But the thing is that I was really invested into trying to join this company, and for me, the main reasons for that was that mission, that idea that I had of this is a company that is trying to do something that I believe in. Is trying to, again, make the web a better place. That links a little bit as well with WordPress. That at that time I was not that familiar with other products like WooCommerce. I knew about WordPress. I had been a WordPress user for a very long time. I had maintained my own blog for many years already. I wanted to be part of that. So, and at the same time, I was driven to the opportunity of contributing to open source. That's always been important for me. It's giving back. It's my way of giving back a little bit to the community. I'm self-taught, and I've been able to progress as an engineer by reading content online, by reading books, by seeing how other people program, and learning from other people's code. So I wanted to give back a little bit in that sense. So I started researching the company a little bit, and then I came across the grid, which is the set of values that we have internally. And to me, that first sentence that I will never stop learning is what always made me think that this was going to be a great place for me, because that's what I want to continue learning. There's a smaller circle there with a remote job. That was part of the appeal, I'm not gonna lie, but that's never been my main motivator. But it was there. It was something that I also wanted to do. I had worked on remote jobs previously, so I was more or less familiar with that. So how did that happen? How did the actual process go? As I mentioned earlier, I'm involved in the Automattic's hiring efforts as well, so I know the process from the other side now. So this is how it works. Application review, you submit your application, a human is going, a person, a colleague is going to read your resume and then move you to the next step. That next step would be an interview. That's the part of the process where I'm really invested in. I spend a lot of time doing interviews. An interview is a chat on Slack, somewhere in between 60 to 90 minutes. And the goal of the interview is for us, the people running those interviews, to get to know the candidates a little bit. There are no brain teasers, there are no weird tests, it's just a chat. We want to get an idea, if possible, of the candidates' experience, past, the things that they have done in the past, the challenges that they have found, the achievements that they've made. If everything goes well, then the candidate would move into the next stage, which would be the code test. Before we move into that, the reason why we do that interview on Slack in writing is because that's in writing is our main means of communication. So that's also a way to set that expectation. Code test. The test is a small project, it's a take-home project. We recommend people to spend around 5 to 6 hours working on it. And usually we ask people to turn that code test over in about a week, but there's always flexibility. I mean, if folks can spend that specific time within a week, then it can take longer. That's perfectly fine. If again, it's going to be a small project, and it shouldn't take more than 5-6 hours to get done. The next phase will be a trial. A trial is a paid trial. That basically what it entails is the candidate gets embedded into an actual team, and they will be working with an actual team on actual tasks that will probably go to production. The goal of that phase is to give both sides an idea of how well they can work together. And if everything goes well at that time, then there's a final step, the final chat, where team allocation is decided, salary will be discussed. That's the very end step of the process. So that's pretty much how it works. For me, that took about a month and a half. The length of the trial depends as well on the candidate's availability. For me, I started the timing was great, and I started the trial just when I was going to start a week of vacation. So it was very easy for me to get 3-4 days. Other folks don't have the luxury of setting time aside for that, so that's perfectly fine. I have colleagues that spend a couple of hours during the weekends on their trials. That's perfectly okay as well. So again, for me, the whole process took about a month and a half, more or less. Then your first day, you are hired, you're super happy, and then what happens? So for me, it was the first few days were a little bit of a surprise. In a sense, some of it was very pleasant, some of it was a little bit unexpected. The first thing that I noticed was that there was a lot of information flowing internally. It's like everything is discussed in the open, everything happens in front of you. There's so much information that you don't even know what might or may not be relevant to you. But then I started noticing that was a symptom of something else, which is the amount of trust that the company puts into every one of us. It's like you are trusted to do the right thing all the time, and you are trusted to know what you have to do, and you're trusted to be responsible and be competent. And therefore, there's no reason to go through several layers of approval in order to get access to a server, for example. You just go to a secure store within our internal systems, get a key, and log into that server. That's as simple as that. So that links into that responsibility bubble. It's like trust, you get trust, and you kind of respond with responsibility, with being competent, let's say, doing your job. Everybody expects you to do that, and no one is breathing down your neck to check that you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's up to you to do that. That also links a little bit with the idea of the flat structure. We are pretty flat. Engineers, for engineering in particular, we are engineers. There are no titles. It's not that there are no titles. You can set your own title, but titles do not really mean anything. I've been vice president of code sleuthing for a couple of years, and then I was senior president of bug submission to app stores or something like that. So it doesn't really matter. Thing is that the structure is very flat, and what that promotes is that everybody has a voice. Everybody has the opportunity to voice their opinions, to suggest things, to get involved in every single discussion. Which in a way leads with the other bubble, that build your own adventure, because the thing is that when you have that trust and you're trusted to behave in a responsible way, and you notice that you can actually try things and you can actually do things and suggest things, then you realize that you can actually build your own adventure within the company. For me, that's always been one of my goals is try to become as better rounded as an engineer as possible. So for me, that always has translated into trying to see as much code as possible, trying to get exposed to as many different ways of programming, different paradigms, different patterns. So that's why I decided to try different products. That's why I spent a little bit of time working on WordPress, then on Tumblr, then on WooCommerce, and so that I get exposed to different ways of seeing and solving problems, right? For other people, that build your own adventure means leadership. There are obviously leadership opportunities. I'm a team lead myself, so I know a little bit about that. But the idea is that if you have, if there's something that you want to chase, all you have to do is just say it, and everybody else will try to carve a path for you to follow your adventure, whatever that is. So yeah, that's great. But how's a regular work for any of us? And the thing is that there's not a good answer for that. There's not a single answer to that question. I mean, how's a work day for you? It depends. It depends on different people. There's no blanket answer. Different people will have different answers for that. So this is mine. This is a very personal one. So I said like two different. In these 3 years, I've worked in two different environments, right? One was before all this, the pandemic. When I joined the company, I was living in Hong Kong. As I mentioned, my partner and I don't have kids. She is a teacher. She had at that time to actually go to school to teach class. So we had a very small apartment, but we had a very small desk on it, and that was kind of my office, right? I had my laptop, a keyboard, my notebook, a pen, and that's what I was spending most of my working day. So I didn't need much. I could have a larger monitor, but I wasn't really interested. But the thing is that my partner had to go every day to school to teach class, right? So for me, that meant that I was the one staying home, so the easiest way for us to manage everything was I would get up a little bit early. I think the older I get, the more proactive I get in the early morning. So I prefer to do my most important thing of the day as early as possible in the morning. So that actually works well. I would get up early, I would work a couple of hours, and then when she was getting ready for work, then I will walk her to the train station, and then I'll probably go to do the grocery shopping, maybe stop at a coffee shop for half an hour or something like that, then go back home, work a little bit more, then cook lunch, maybe go to the gym, read a little bit, and then in the afternoon I would go maybe for another couple of hours to a coffee shop as well, and just finish my work day there. The thing is, what is important to me is that I've always been able to build my work day around my personal day. So that was there. Now suddenly everything changed for everyone else. There was the pandemic, and then my office turned into our office. As I said, she's a teacher. She needs to work on a fixed schedule and teach class at a specific time. So she took over the office, and I needed to readapt again. So I would get up a little bit earlier, try to get as much done as possible before her classes would start, and then after the classes would start, 4 or 5 hours later, I would work another couple of hours, 3 hours, depending on what I wanted to achieve that day. But again, the key here is that I build my work day around my personal day. And the thing is that I'm not the only one that does that. And the reason why I can do this is, again, because of that mix of agency, autonomy, trust, responsibility that Automattic puts in you. There's no one checking in if you are online or not. There's no one You don't have to punch in, you don't have to do a stand-up at a specific time. Everybody knows that you're going to do what you're supposed to do, and you know that you have to do what you're supposed to do. People depend on you as well. So that's why I think the system works. So as I was saying, I'm not the only one that does that. I have colleagues in my team that, for example, the one that loves the night owl, Amanda is a gamer. She loves to spend a couple of hours playing before getting to work. She seems to be more effective and productive at night. So I think she starts working like around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. or something like that, and then stays working until the early morning. And that's what works for her and what makes her happy. So there's no reason to not do that. And that's what she does. I got another colleague that, needs to drive their kids to school every day, so they do that. I have another colleague that this is the first, her first remote job, so she's very used to having a 9-to-5 schedule. That's what she feels like is productive for her, and that's what she does. Again, the idea is that everyone gets to build their workday and do whatever they need to do or they want to do in whatever way we want to do. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much everything that I had ready for starters. So should we? Okay, we got the question. So how did you not give up after applying to Automattic 4 times? What kept you motivated? So for me, it was I guess it was the motivation that I mentioned at the beginning. I've always wanted to work for this company. I always wanted to work on WordPress. I wanted to be part of that mission idea of having less walled gardens on the internet and empowering people to share whatever they want while at the same time owning their own content. So that's why drove me there, and that's why I continued applying again and again until I got in. Is the first stage of the hiring process tech interview also for non-tech roles? As far as I understand, yes. That's the same for everyone. As far as I understand, non-tech roles also go through a trial, at least some of them. I'm not sure about every single one of them, but I know that, for example, HR, people working internally on personal development and engineering development, they also go through trials. So yeah, I think that for non-technical roles, the code test might be the only thing that changes between one in the hiring process. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions. All right. Salaries, Amanda is asking if our salaries are automatic adjust by location, high cost of living versus low cost of living. No, as far as I know, no. No. Sorry, that was a very short answer, but yeah, not as far as I know. What types of roles are open on Automattic now? Okay, that's a good question. Thanks. I think there is a little bit of everything. Everyone, my suggestion would be to check that URL, automatic.com/work with us. There are several roles open on engineering. We're pretty much always hiring. There are front end, back end, on web, Android, iOS engineers on mobile. There are roles specific for Tumblr, on web and mobile, for WooCommerce, for WordPress. So that's a little bit of everything in engineering. There are also several roles on happiness engineering. And I think there are other open roles at the moment, but that URL is always the best, the canonical source of truth in terms of open roles. I would recommend to check that often. Again, we are hiring at the moment. I think we are pretty much always hiring, so it's always a good idea to check that out. Do you have any tips for candidates who don't have any remote work experience? Okay. I think that the key, but one thing that I found working here is that, and it's part of our creed, is that communication is oxygen. My main tip would be over-communicate, default to over-communicating. It is better to come across as over-communicator sometimes than the opposite. There's no one, when you're working on a remote and distributed environment, there's no one seeing what you're doing, understanding the challenges that you're having, and there's no one checking on you directly, like checking exactly what you're doing and verifying that you're doing what you're supposed to do. So sometimes it might be a little bit easy to go down every single rabbit hole. So my suggestion is always over-communicate. Tell everyone what you're doing, tell everyone the challenges that you're facing. One thing that I do in particular as an engineer, and I think it's very helpful for us, is I try to time box my efforts. Meaning, let's say that I'm working on something and I'm not making headway, I'm blocked, something is not working, I'm trying to fix a bug and I can't find a way to fix that. So what I would do would be to work on that for an hour only. And if after 1 hour I'm still stuck, then I will ask for help. I will make noise about that. I will ask others if they found the same situation, if they have any suggestions, if they have any tips, whatever. But I think it's trying to get in a dynamic where you find ways to unblock yourself is a very important asset for a remote worker. And part of that is communication. Being able to communicate those challenges is very important. Not sure if that answers your question, but that's my advice. Okay, there's a question from Justin. Does Automattic only hire people with remote work experience? No. No. Remote work experience is not a precondition at all. I personally know of colleagues that this is their first remote job. So yeah. How does a company that is both large and distributed maintain its culture? Do you feel well connected to other automaticians? Okay, that's a very good question. Everything, when it comes to human, this is a personal opinion, a very personal opinion, okay? But when it comes to human contact and human connection, everything is harder this last year, right? The pandemic has made everything way harder. Back in the old days before the pandemic, one of the expectations that every one of us would have is that we were going to be able to travel around 3 to 4 weeks every year to different meetups. There would be your team meetup, maybe a division meetup, maybe the general meetup where the whole company would gather. The connections that you made at those meetups, the people that you met in person, people that you had only met at the other side of the screen, that were an avatar on Slack or on any of our internal tools, and then they become three-dimensional and they become real people, and those connections are really important, and I miss that a lot. The company is trying to keep us connected. We are doing virtual meetups. We do have a lot of internal groups, interest groups, Slack channels, from the folks that like to run to folks that bike, makers, bakers, So there's a lot of internal activity in that sense. It's hard sometimes to. I think we all the folks that were with the company before the pandemic, we all missed that those meetups, and I think that makes us also realize that the people that have joined in the last year did of living that experience. So I think on the one hand, that makes the old guard, the most experienced people, a little bit more empathetic of those that are coming in and joining the company, and therefore everyone is trying to make a little bit of an extra effort to welcome the new folks. I don't know if that answers your question anyway. Okay, let's see. Did you make significant changes in your application between each time you applied? Okay, that's a very good question. And so, what do you think made the difference on your fourth application? Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. I don't really know. I think between the first and the fourth and the actual final application, there were like probably 3-4 years in between. Maybe I gained more experience during those 4 years, or maybe the person that reviewed my application that last time saw it as a better fit or saw something interesting in that. I've never wanted to ask. I do have access to my own, again, trust and responsibility. I do have access to my own hiring process record. I've never looked into that. I never wanted to know, to be honest. So, yeah, I hope question as well. So I actually, okay. What do employees enjoy most about working at Automattic? Okay, that's a good question. I think that's another one of how's a regular day of work for you? That's one of those questions that doesn't have a single answer, right? I think it would depend for different people. For me, the things that I enjoy the most, in no particular order, okay? So one of the things that I enjoy the most is that I get to work on things that really matter to me. I mentioned that less walled gardens on the internet, democratizing publishing and democratizing e-commerce. But I also I've also worked on accessibility, several other things that are really, really important to me. That as I said at the beginning, I thought it wasn't going to be relevant, but it is. I'm almost 50, and I'm at a point where I want my effort to go into things that I believe in. So that's one of the things that I like about working here. I got the opportunity of doing that. Another thing that I like a lot is that everyone around is extremely accomplished, but at the same time, folks are very, very, very kind. So that combination is what that translates into, to me, is that you get plenty of opportunities. If you keep your eyes and your ears open, you get plenty of opportunities to learn things that you didn't know every single day. And in that sense, as well, trust and autonomy, because you can look into every single corner of the company, you get opportunities to learn about a lot of different things, not only engineering, from how a business is run to why we are signing or not signing a particular client. So whatever is your inclination, whatever is the things that you might be interested in, you have opportunities to learn about those. And also, again, trust and autonomy, and I mentioned this earlier, I found that there are plenty of opportunities to raise your hand and say, I'll do that. For example, here I am today. That's how this started. Someone asked, is there anyone that would like to participate in this job fair? I said, okay, I'll do it. I would love to try that. So here I am. That's another thing that I like a lot about working here. It's you have the chance of doing a lot of things that may not be directly related to software engineering as an engineer, but that may be slightly tangential in a way. but it's still related. So I spend more or less around 20% of my time working on hiring, doing interviews, and maybe helping with a code test, reviewing a code test, or stuff like that. And that's not only allowed, but it's more than welcome by the company and by my colleagues, and the other way around. So again, that's something that I like. Yeah, I think that's, to me, the things that I like most about working here. Again, different people will have different opinions. How diverse is the company in terms of age range? Oh, I love that. I love that question because I'm 50. Yeah, it is. It is pretty diverse. I would say that the first time that I showed my partner a photo of my team, she said, "Oh, it's the first time that I see people your age at work, in any of your pictures at work." I am not sure exactly how many of us are over 40, but I would say that there's a significant amount of people over 40 within the company. So, and then from 20 something to 50 something, I think, yeah. So yeah, in that sense, I'm really happy. I think it's a very diverse company in terms of age. How consistent is the culture across the different automotive organizations? Okay, that's a good question. Yeah, it's consistent up to a point. It's consistent. There are parts of the culture that I think that everyone agrees with, and everyone embraces, but then I feel like it's in every division, let's call it that way, has their own quirks and their own things that define them and make them a little bit different from others. Also, some of the divisions as well come from acquisitions. WooCommerce was a plugin that was incorporated into the company. Tumblr was an acquisition as well. So there's an overlap, definitely, but there's also wiggle room for each division to follow do their own thing in a way. I don't know if that answers that question properly. Let's see what else we have. So this, I actually had a Zoom interview as a first step for a non-tech role. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I hope you don't need to apply 3 more times. Yeah. I know, I feel like I'm saying a lot of things, and I'm not sure if I'm making any sense. So. I didn't miss any question, right? I think that's everything. So yeah, there's the link to the works, the jobs portal within our website. I would definitely recommend everyone to check that. Oh, thanks, Michelle. That's nice. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Luke. Thank you, Amanda. Thanks, Tamia. Thanks, Christelle. Have a great day, you too. Thank you, Selena. Hey, gracias, Eva. you, Naomi. Thanks, Gregory. Hey, un saludo, Víctor. De nada. I don't know if anyone has any other question. I think we still have a few minutes to go. Ask away. Oh, okay, we got a new question. How do we catch the recruiter's attention? That's a good one. Be yourself. That would be the obvious advice. I think everyone might probably have said something similar in previous sessions, but do your research. Looking to get a little bit familiar with the products that we develop. Get a little bit familiar. Look into the website. There's links within the website to the grid. Go through it. See if that's something that resonates with you, and then if it does, make that clear in your application. Inside the tip, wink, wink. If you mention a particular part of the grid in your application that you like, that's probably going to catch the recruiter's attention a little bit. But in general, yeah, checking that and getting a little bit familiar, doing your research is a good idea in general. I'm not sure if that answers your question as well. Am I on LinkedIn? Nope, I'm not. All right, so I don't see any further questions incoming. Oh, we have one more. Do you know where this? No, I don't know. Why there was no booth for Automatic today? I don't know. Sorry, I don't know that. Well, I think we are at the 45-minute mark, right? So, well, thank you everyone for your time and your interest, and yeah, I hope to see you soon working with us. Have a great day. Bye.